What's up, guys, and welcome to Forza Motorsport 6. And if you're a bit of a motorsport fan, then you'll probably know the Le Mans 24 Hours is on this weekend. And as it is, I've decided to stick this on and give it a go, or as close to it as we can possibly get. Which involves 30 laps. Where is it? 30 laps around Le Mans, which I've already tried. I've done a bit of a warm-up, and I've pretty much worked out this is going to take a good hour and a half to 2 hours to complete. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. It'll probably go absolutely horrendously, but we'll see. We'll see. Right, so we need to choose a car, and we have the option of 3 cars. Now, I am aware that Audi are not racing this year, which is unfortunate because it means that we're basically left with Toyota and Porsche. But I'm probably going to select them purely because I've tried that car in the past and it's an absolute just monster. It's so hard to control. So I'm going to go with this. Hopefully it's a bit easier to control. It's not got as much oversteer. Right. So what I'll do is I'll show you my assists, which, as it stands, I have. Basically, I'm not the best player at Forza, but I consider myself to be acceptably good. And yeah, basically this is my default, which I play with basically everything off, or simulation. Braking line is on braking only, or suggest line on braking only, which I'm going to leave on braking only because I don't want to have to try and pick out braking points in the dark, which is just going to be an absolute disaster if I try that. So we'll leave that on braking only. But we're going to turn rewinds off. So if something goes tits up, which it inevitably will, then we actually have to try and get ourselves back into the race. If we hit a wall, if we crash, then we have to get into the pits and repair it. As for my drivatar difficulty, I have that set to Pro, which is the second hardest. And yeah, I think it's time to start the race. And it will be a stationary start. Unlike Le Mans, where it is supposed to be a rolling start, we will be doing a stationary start. But we'll see if we can get off to a good start here. Keep position, and I've totally lost all revs, but we're on a good. That's actually not too bad a start, to be honest. Could have gone much worse. Try and avoid some cars here, not crash, which would be an absolutely awful situation right at the start to end up crashed. Oh, okay. Toyota boy's going up my outside, or thinking about it, but I think I've just got a bit more straight line speed than he does. And we are catching the banana. Right, okay. Alongside and past the banana, we have taken the lead. And everybody is right behind me. Right, so I've just checked my damage, and we've already got 27% damage on my engine. So that's because I've been changing down too aggressively, which means that we're basically got no chance of catching the cars in front of us. In fact, we're getting caught by the cars behind us, and I've crashed again, almost. So I feel we're probably going to have to restart this, because otherwise we're never going to ever catch those cars in front. Right, attempt number 2. See if we can get a good start again. Decent launch. That electrical power kicking in there. Right, we're up into second place. See if we can hold on to it. Try and get past the banana car. We've already got 10% engine damage. Oh, for Christ's sake. Right. I'm not going to be able to do this because I'm too aggressive on the gears. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the settings. Right, we'll keep it on fuel and tires because we don't want to. Yeah, we want that to be obviously part of the game, but we. Yeah, I just can't handle that aggression on the gear changes. That one bad mistimed gear change and suddenly our engine's at like 10% damage, which is really bad. And we've had an awful start. Right, okay, let's see if we can make up. Oh, I'm getting pinned in. Right, we're going to inside line. Okay, and we've already crashed. Right, and we are pretty much dead last. We are in fact dead last. Right, okay, so we're now going to have to try and crash into the back of this bloody Lamborghini. Get out of the way. Right. Make our way through these lot. Who are... this has gone awful. Oh, for goodness sake. Right. Our race officially begins here. Right, see if we can weave our way through these cars a bit more effectively than we did the last time. Right. 1 down, 2 down. Oh god, braking zone's coming up. Right, we're going inside, we're going inside. Round that one. Around that one. Yeah, it's been pretty successful so far. No contact has been made. BMW boy in front. Out my way. Faster car coming through. Right, good. Now that we've dispatched that bunch of renegade cars, we're now onto the back of our actual class, and we have to try and catch up. Don't do that, don't do that, don't do that. Stay. Well, that didn't help, but could have been much worse than that. Right, we are catching up with this group of cars in front. These are the slower of the cars that are in our class. Let's see if we can overtake these guys. One's gone wide, which helps us quite nicely. There we go. Right, we passed this boy and the one in front. And we've dispatched those two. Right. So we're up to 10th place in class. And now we focus on trying to get closer to the front. They look like they have already left everyone for dead. You can see how bad our first lap was. We're 24 seconds up already on this lap because we spun twice at this point. The last lap round, and we have dispatched him with ease. Right. We're now in the top 10. Okay, I'm all over the place there. Right, okay. But we continue to pull in the guy in front. And he's gone in the pit. Interesting move. Only 2 laps in, he's already had to pit. And we have spun. Almost half fuel already. At this rate, we're going to be pitting every 5 laps or so. I think I've got that corner right once yet. Nice tow along behind him, and we'll just move out. Can't even see him. I have no idea where he is. He's still ahead of me slightly. And we have got past. He's been in the wars. He's only got 1 headlight. I think we're going to have to come in for fuel at the end of this lap. We look to be using it quite a lot at the moment. See if we can... That's been, what, 4 laps. I think we'll... oh, shit. Oh, my word. Completely forgot about the second chicane. Pulling into the pits. I have no idea how the pit stops work here. Okay, that's gravel. That's gravel. Okay, we'll just cut that. Okay, so we're in the pit. And the guy in front of us is also in the pit. So we'll try and keep up with him as we come out. Looks like the guy behind us is pitting as well, so everybody coming in. Right, some new boots, bit of juice, and we're on the way. Right, 4th place is pitting. We might be able to get there by the time he gets out. As long as we don't spin! Oh, for God's sake. Every fucking time. But there is a guy in the pit, and we will be racing him on the exit. We'd be much, much further ahead of him if we had not spun our way into the final corner, but we have overtaken him. We are in 6th place. I think that may have been the guy who was right in front of us before we went in the pit stops. May have done another lap. Yeah, so it is looking like every 4 laps we're going to have to come in for fuel, which is, I think, a bit excessive, but looks like everybody is in the same boat. And again, we've hit the wall. Fuck's sake. And we've been overtaken by the bloody banana car. You literally don't need to brake coming through here, despite it telling you to. Okay, we ran a bit wide there, and we have completely stopped. Right, okay. Thank you, Forza, for that. Massively aggressive policy on running wide, slightly run wide, and the game's like, yeah, you're just gonna stop moving. Oh, come on! But there are two cars in front now, and we would be probably ahead of them both if I hadn't bloody well pretty much spun twice. What the hell was that? We just caught air. But we are catching the car in front, and they are catching traffic. Should hopefully slow them down. Oh, for goodness sake, Ferrari, get out of the way. You're not even in my race. Stay out of the way. And this guy's run very deep. And that'll be P6 back again. We've got a couple of cars in the pit. Right, let's try and not spin coming out of this corner again. Don't know what it is, just the camber of the track. It just makes it so easy to just lose the back end coming out that corner. Come on, P4 is within our grasp. Just need to catch this Audi in front. It's ours. And then we'll be hunting down a podium position. Audi's run very deep in front. We miss a gear, which means we don't capitalise as much on the Audi's mistake, but we have caught him. It's something I've noticed about racing games. I've always, like every racing game I ever play, I'm always better than cars under braking, but as soon as it comes to acceleration, they're just gone, and I'm kind of left spinning my wheels. Pin you in behind the BMW. Good stuff. There we go. Right. He had nowhere to go. He was stuck between me and the BMW. He just had to sit there and watch as overtook him. I have no idea how far we are behind the guy in third. But we will continue our march forward and hopefully catch him. We will have to pit at the end of this lap though. Oh god, gravel trap. Forgot about it again. Oh, third place is pitted in front of us, so we're not massively far behind. We're probably a good, I don't know, 20 seconds behind them, possibly. Although the car that we did just overtake has continued on. That's the thing, I'm no idea what strategy other cars are on. So until we get to the last few laps of this race, we probably won't know where we're actually going to finish, because people might still have pit stops to make with a lap or so to go, which could completely change everything around. We're using about 2% too much fuel to make it a 5-lap stint, which is really annoying. If we can get that down a little bit, we might be able to extend our stints, but as it stands, we're stuck on a 4-lap. Fuck! And there goes our headlights. So this race has just become a whole lot better. Oh, for goodness sake, can't see anything. Oh my word. As if it wasn't hard enough, we'd have to do it in complete darkness. Thank God I've got the braking line on, because otherwise I would be smashing headfirst into every corner. And we've still got 3 laps before my next scheduled pit stop, which I hope they fix my headlights in. Otherwise we're like this until the end of the race, and we're only a third of the way through it. I'm now pretty much using the racing line as the racetrack, because it's the only bit of it I can actually see. That in memory, and that's pretty much all I've got here to race with. This is an absolute nightmare. I'm on the dirt. Right, I'm going to have to pit stop at the end of this lap. I cannot continue with no headlights. That's the wall. Couldn't see it. I literally could not see it. Where? I think this is the right direction. I may be mistaken. Regardless, we are coming into the pits at the end of this lap and praying to God that they fix our headlights, because without them we are screwed. I'm on the grass again. Right, please fix our headlights. Please fix our headlights. Otherwise this will be a very, very dark and probably quite unentertaining, well maybe, but it will probably not be the best video to watch because it will just be a black screen for the most part for the rest of this video if they don't fix them. They're fixed. They have fixed them. Thank Christ for that. Right. Let's try not to go headfirst into a wall and ruin our headlights again. So happy I can actually see curbs and walls and the road. I can see the tail lights of the car in front of us. We are pulling him in. There he is. Not too far away. I think it's a banana car as well. Oh, for goodness sake, the bloody back end, just as soon as it goes, it's gone. Like, there's nothing you can do. Try and correct it and it just spins even harder the other direction. And we're on the grass. This is just absolutely fucking amazing. Right, we're on a straight. We can't spin off on a straight. Although I'll probably give it a good bloody try. Right, so we're a second and a bit up, second and a quarter up on our best lap so far through that first sector. And I think I'm just going to shut up and just focus on trying to keep this lap tidy and catch the people in front. Right, it's been a very good lap so far. We're 2 seconds and 2/10 up on our best lap, and we have to pit because we're running out of fuel. Try and keep out the gravel this time, which I do. Not sure that's actually any faster, keeping out the gravel. Probably slower, but... So the guy in front of us has stayed out, which is interesting because he came in the same time as us the last pit stop, so it looks like he's able to continue his stints a bit longer than I am, which, I mean, it's probably something to do with all the bloody spinning and having to do 180s that's causing my fuel consumption to be absolutely ridiculously high as a fucking car goes through me. Alright, okay, I'll just go through him. Thank you for that, game. Thought I was about to just crash straight into the back of him there. That wasn't nice. Right, so hopefully the guy in front of us will be stopping next lap round. So if I get a nice clean lap in here, I could jump him. Right, I'm hoping to see P6 pitting flash up on the side of my monitor any second here. But it's not come. I'm not sure why. There he is. Right, P6 is pitted. He's not too far in front of us. He's only about 10 seconds in front. So we should be able to easily pass him in the pit stops. Been a very, very solid lap by us here. Right up until the last, where we almost spin coming out the last corner again. But we have overtaken 6th place. And we're now officially past the halfway point in this race. Trying to overtake the back markers. Oh, he's cut across me. Dirty bastard. The bloody Corvette. Get past you. Give you a special finger out the bloody side of the window, you little dick. Honestly. Where do you think he's going? He's just trying to come up the inside of me. Arsehole. Oh! Oh my word. Threaded the needle on that one, like. Don't think we were far away from ploughing into that tyre barrier. Johnny Evans is pitting. Taking a break from playing football to start his Le Mans endurance racing career. We've passed the 1 hour mark of this race. Passed that 4.5 minutes ago and I didn't even notice. I'm starting to get some cramp in my hand, which is, well, we're just going to have to battle through. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be probably just less than 2 hours to complete this race. Oh, P4's pitting. We should probably be able to get him by the time he gets out. There's big Mark Webber. Here he is, in the pits, and we have overtaken him. P5 is ours, right. That means P5 is still to pit, and he was in between me and Mark Webber. At least I think he's Mark Webber. M. Webber, probably Mark Webber. And he will pit at some point, and we will jump him. So we are currently sitting, hopefully, in a P4 position right now. And I don't think we're too far behind the guy who was in P3, so podium is still on the cards. And yes, I am aware that he's not called Mark Webber, he's probably called Matthew Webber, but I have noticed at Forza a lot of the drivers' surnames and initials match up perfectly with some racing drivers. So yeah, when you see M. Webber, I don't think that's a coincidence. Right, so second place is pitting, and he is quite literally half the track ahead of me, so catching him is not looking very likely, but I think P3 may still be on the cards. P4 is in the pits. We have caught him up quite significantly, but he has already made his stop and he's on his way to the exit, so he will overtake us. P6 is pitting as well by the looks of things, possibly? No. So I think we'll be behind Mark Webber by the time we come out the pits, but hopefully not by too much. There he goes, he's going past us. So we're going to be a few seconds behind, a couple of seconds maybe. Okay, maybe a bit more than a couple of seconds. P7 isn't too far behind us as well. Coming through the final chicane just as we're exiting the pit lane. So Mark Webber has just exited the first chicane. Not the most conventional place for an overtake, that corner, but we made it work. Don't run wide, don't run wide. Oh, for God's sake. Oh, I just spotted 5th and 6th place, sorry, 5th and 4th place on our mini-map, so we're not far away from 4th place either. Try and catch Mark by the end of the this lap, hopefully, and then look to pull in the lad in 4th place. We have significantly cut the gap down to Mark Webber. We're just so much faster through that section than anybody else because we can actually, well, apart from this bit when we run wide, but we can pretty much take that bit without braking. We just lift off a wee bit and we're through it. Everybody else, all the AI, brake going through those corners. We are about to overtake somebody who is in the pits. I think P3 is in the pits. No, 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 no. Oh my god. What a time to spin. P3 is still in the pits though. He's still within grasp. Get off the grass. We've overtaken him. Good, right. Bit of lap traffic in front of us as he's put himself right in the way. Right, okay. Past him. Mark Webber's gone extremely wide and we've overtaken him. We're now in 4th place. And not... oh, well, not when we do that, we're not. God damn it, Mark Webber's going to overtake us again. He's coming alongside us. He's only got one headlight. He just lost his headlight when he hit that wall. Try and get a tow along behind him. That was literally... oh, he's still on our inside. I was going to say, that was literally the first time I've ever seen my shift lights flashing on 6th gear. Just the extra speed of being tucked up behind another car gave us... I'm going to dive up the inside of him. Under braking. Still there. He's not giving up this position. Oh, I've hit him. Come on, Mark, get out of the way. I'm faster than you. Multi-21 mark. Well, multi-12. Come on, out of the way. P6 is right behind us as well. Tried the switchback, it's not worked. It's got so much better drive out of the corners. And the guy behind us is right on my tail as well. I'm in 7th gear. I've never been in 7th gear. But I'm in 7th gear. I think I was getting pushed by the guy behind us. This is some of the most intense battling we've had all day. Car front, car behind. He's getting blocked by the Corvette, I think it is. Who's now trying to block us. We go at the other side of him. Alright, this is a sector where we're very strong. If we can find a gap. Almost ran into the back of him. Ferrari going very slowly. Past both of them. Right. Try and build a gap. Wow. Almost just absolutely creamed into the back of that. Not even sure what it was. Chevrolet, I think it was. Right, I can see P3 on my map. We're not far away, although we will probably have to make a pit stop. Maybe the end of this lap, possibly the next one. We should, however, get to the end of the race with 2 stops. One, is it the end of this lap, possibly? Yeah, we might have to pit at the end of this lap. Which will give us 8 laps to go. So we'll have 1 more stop to make between then, well, now and then. And that should take us to the end of the race. Hopefully, everybody else needs to stop twice as well. But we're now over 2/3 of the way into this race, and my hand is getting even more cramped. I'm also starting to get a bit of a stiff back, and well, it's not very nice. But we're going to have to just battle through and continue in pain, agony of endurance racing. We're getting much better. The further we go into this race, I'm 2 seconds up on my fastest lap. We are now on the tail of P3 and we're having to pit. And we've crashed coming into the pit lane, but we haven't lost too much time. Right, in the pit lane. So it looks like P4 and 5, well, 5 and 6 will continue. Whether they have to pit once or twice again is in the balance. It looks like Mark Webber's having to come in the pit again. Possibly? No, he's not. He's staying out. So hopefully they still have to pit twice. If they only have to pit once, then it looks like we'll be fighting for 5th, maybe 4th position. Mark Webber is in the pit. If the cars in front of us still have to pit twice, we are in a very good position. Mr. Ferrari, if you could just stay out of my way, thank you. Lost another about 2 seconds there, stuck behind that Ferrari. Not very good. And now, just as we're approaching the next chicane, we have an Audi R8 stuck in front of us. Couldn't be at any worse time as well. Just as we're getting to the chicanes, the cars just right in front of us. Right, I'm hoping the cars in front of us will have to pit at the end of this lap, putting us back into P4 at the very least, possibly P3. So the cars in front of us have continued, which is starting to look a bit ominous. If they don't pit at the end of the next lap, they may only have to pit once before the end of the race, which means catching them could be out the window. First place is pitting, and he is literally the opposite side of the track from me, so that's how far ahead people in 1st and 2nd are. Come on, flash up saying that the people in front of me are coming into the pit. They are, they're coming into the pit. Right, so hopefully they have to stop once more before the end of the race, because that's 6 laps they'll have to do. Which I don't think they're going to be able to manage 6 laps on 1 tank of fuel, so they may have to stop just before the end of the race. And if they do, P3 is in our grasps. but it's pretty much a guarantee as long as I don't manage to somehow fuck all this up. Okay, we just crashed. And lost both our headlights. Fuck. Not good, not good. We need to do one more lap, otherwise we won't make it to the end on fuel. I want to stop now, fix my headlights, but if I stop now I need to stop with a lap to go, and I can't afford that. I need to keep going without any headlights for at least a lap. That way we'll get to the end of lap 26. And that should give us enough fuel. Oh, don't crash again, don't crash again. Oh my god, how deep have I gone? Bloody Narnia. I've dropped 7 seconds to the cars behind, which is not going to be good when we get to the pit stop phase. Can't see. Where's the corner? There it is, right. So thankful the little bits of light that turn up to show me where the track goes. Because when it's like this, I've got absolutely no idea. I'm just guessing. Firewall, there it goes, right. I'm on the grass again, I'm on the grass again. Where's the track? Where's the track? Here it is, right. Right, so the track should be lit from here on in, which is nice. Ignore that, I don't know why it's doing that. I watched a fucking Rare video, like a thing on Mixer, and now it's given me literally every game Rare have ever made. I mean, I'm not going to say no to free games, but I don't know why it's giving me them all. Right, pit in. Gone too deep again. Cut the gravel. Out my way, out my way, out my way, you stupid Corvette. Right. So 4 and 5 should overtake us, but hopefully they have to pit once more, and we will overtake them once they come in for their pit stops. We're not too far behind P3. We might be able to catch them just on pure pace alone. P5 is coming through the final chicane as we speak. Get to go through that Corvette. That's nice, right. Now, I want to try and catch the Corvette, the guy who's in P3 before the end of the race, because I'm not sure whether he'll have to pit again. I have a feeling he will, but I cannot be certain. So in case he doesn't have to pit, I want to try and be right beside him by the end of the race. I mean, I don't know what sort of bloody strategy we're on, but I think it must be about a 20 stop, because this has been just spent more time in the pits than we have on track. It's nice being able to see that wall that just went past, unlike the last lap where I knew there was a tyre wall somewhere there, but I had no idea where it was. Right, P3 is just exiting the chicane now, so we've actually caught him quite significantly. With only 3 laps, well, 2.5 laps left to go, we might be able to catch him on pace alone, but I'm hoping he has to pit. Right, he's stuck behind a load of lapped cars. Seems like if the AI gets stuck behind a back marker in the wrong place, then they just sit behind them, which means they lose quite a lot of time, especially coming through this sector we're just approaching. If they get stuck behind another car, which this guy is, coming through these corners, he just does not overtake, because it just basically is single file through here, unless you're an absolute boss like me and manage to overtake people in these corners. It's the AI just won't do it. So they lose a lot of time, which this guy has. Is he going in the pit? He's going in the pit. There he is, disappearing off into the pit lane. So that has confirmed us 3rd place, as long as we don't screw it up. Approaching the hour 50 mark. So we're pretty much over what would be a Formula 1 race at this point in time. Most Formula 1 races last about an hour 45, push 2 hours some of them, but probably average around an hour 40, hour 45. Alright, a lap and a bit to go. My hand is starting to hurt a lot right now, but we will continue, we will battle through the pain. Out my way. Wow, you're pushing me very, very wide. Thanks for that, Mr. Backmarker. Another Audi in front. past him, making a pit stop with a lap to go, which is always a good move. Load of cars making pit stops with 1 lap left, so fuel consumption really pushing them right to the edge of the race. This is it, final lap. As long as we don't bin it, we've got ourselves a podium at Le Mans. Maybe not 24 hours, but it will be very close to 2 hours, and that's not too bad. Technically, if it was Le Mans, you continue until a certain time, so if we still had a couple of minutes left, like if we were doing a 2-hour race, we would do another lap after this one. So how many laps you can do until time runs out, but unfortunately we're not, so it's only a 30-lap race, and it's tantalizingly close to the 2-hour mark, but not quite close enough. We can now see the finish line. Well, ruined that a little bit, didn't we? There it is, the pit complex up in front. Only a couple of corners left to go, so and we'll just slow this down, just walk it across the line, and we have come third in the Le Mans 1 hour 58 minutes or whatever it was. Which is not bad at all, given the amount of times we managed to crash. Well, I managed to crash and spin and lose my headlights, and oh, it was an absolute disaster, but we managed to do it, and we gained a shit ton of XP. May as well spin so we get... Oh, we can get ourselves a BMW M3 2005, and we got it! We got it! What an end! What an end! Oh, we've got another one. 750 grand. That's nothing. Nothing for compared to a BMW M3 2005. Right, let's see what we can get. 300 grand. Another one. Another one. Whatever that is. Credit pack, base pack, whatever, I don't know. And another spin. And another one of those, whatever they are. There we go. Oh my god, we've gone immediately up to Affinity level 12 from 0. That's how much XP we gained. But that was 2 hours of intensive spinning, crashing, and at the end we did actually get some decent racing, mainly with Mark Webber, and you can see the state of my car at the end of that race. It's an absolute disaster. But yeah, it wasn't a bad race. So unfortunately, Audi won't be at this year's Le Mans 24. Takes a bit of the competition away. Hopefully, Toyota and Porsche can battle it out and actually get a bit of close racing, and one of them doesn't just run away with it. But yeah, we'll see on Saturday and Sunday, and yeah, this has been good. So if you've enjoyed this video, then be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe as well if you're new and you will watch more of my content. Don't do too much racing stuff, but I'm a big racing fan, so occasionally you might catch me doing some of this sort of thing. But yeah, if you've enjoyed it, then do be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. I've already said all this. Anyway, it's been good seeing you. Well, it's not been good seeing you, because I haven't seen you. But it's been good doing this, and it's been fun. And yeah, I'll stop rambling on now. So thanks for watching, and until next time, cheery bye!